podcast excellence since 2005. This is the King of Podcasts radio network, kingofpodcasts.com.
This is what my face looks like after taking 1,000 men less than 12 hours ago.
We are all a little depraved and debaucherous. Here is the King of Podcasts.
Welcome to the program. This is King of Podcasts here with you. And you may remember late last year, I did a story where Lily Phillips, an OnlyFans model, decided to go ahead and make the attempt where she sampled 100 guys in half a day, sleeping with 100 guys and they give 12 hours to get herself ready to take on 1,000 guys in 24 hours. Well, she has a friend of hers in the space that's also an influencer and has her own OnlyFans model alike, Bonnie Blue. And she decided to go the same route. So let me go and play back real quick what I just played for you from the beginning. We're going to play the whole clip here where she announces that she finished 1,000+ man gangbang.
This is what my face looks like after taking 1,000 men less than 12 hours ago. I told you girls taking fluids for moisturizer was good for your skin.
The big 1,000 was completely done. So it started off, I'll give you a bit of an overview. After to start with, it was just like the room was absolutely full. Then we did groups of 5, like one after the other of 5s. I wanted to give people more time, so then it went down to like one-on-ones, didn't it? So like one person would watch whilst I was with somebody, and then it would literally just be like a rotating circle like that.
Wow. I don't know how much to believe of all this, but this was a clip that was put out there on X referring to this here. So let's get to the story here from Daily Mail. So Bonnie Blue, an OnlyFans star, says she's broken the world record sleeping with 1,057 men in just 12 hours, as she thanks all the barely legal, barely breathing, and the husbands for participating in this gangbang. Now, nobody's calling it that, but that's what this is. Yeah, back in the day, the Houston 500 and all these other women that used to go and do this kind of thing, they were accomplished adult porn stars that were being paid to screw on camera and be able to go and do things like this, perform as such. And this girl decides to go the same route. But this is an OnlyFans star that never really does anything in person like this, except doing a lot of content creation, just like a regular OnlyFans star, like just like a regular beautiful girl. Now, she's 25 years old. She's from Derbyshire in England. She says she has topped the tally that was previously set by adult film actress Lisa Sparks, who slept with 919 men in 24 hours in 2004. So TikTok footage uploaded after carrying the first stunt in London last Saturday, she's now issued thanks. She's gotten backlash by claiming to sleep with barely legal 18-year-olds and saying men should cheat on their wives. And she's told of making up to 750,000 euros a month, so more or less, 900,000, close to $1 million a month, with her online activity, which includes X-rated content on OnlyFans. She described how her skin was looking better than ever before, going ahead with the event, and she put 2 clips online. We saw those. We just heard those. And comments on her TikTok videos went all over the place. One person says, why would anyone do this? Another one said that men would want to do that too, all for fame and money. Last November, she planned to fly to Australia for a free sex marathon with teenage school leavers. And in exchange, they had to consent for her posting the content online. But her 12-month visitor visa was canceled by the country's Department of Home Affairs because she'd voiced the plans to undertake paid sex work. And that's illegal under the visa's conditions. So she had planned that as part of a schoolies celebrations in Surfers Paradise in Eastern Australia in 2023. Now, she's tried to go ahead and defend what she's been doing, her behavior and what she's doing in her videos. She says, quote, people say it's an unsafe environment, but I can't think of one situation where an 18-year-old has had sex where they've had to bring a passport, they had to bring consent forms, they had to do a breathalyzer. Now, her real name is Tia Billinger, and she previously been married to her childhood sweetheart, Oliver Davidson. And they were wed in 2022, moving to the Gold Coast in Australia shortly afterwards. But then she abandoned her job in recruitment and launched her career as a cam girl on porn sites. Her then husband supported the decision, however, the pair have since broken up. Her parents' response to being sent one of her sex tapes and discovering her new chosen vocation. They were shocked but not disappointed. So there's a lot that she says on this. Let's go and go to a clip from ITV this morning where she talked about her career.
Sites online, you can speak to girls one-on-one. I started off doing that for a couple of weeks, enjoyed it, had good money, liked interacting with people. And then I was like, okay, I might set up OnlyFans because I was aware of it but didn't know too much about it. Right. So started off doing like your generic content with other content creators that was established in my area. And then I quite quickly realized how fake and how edited that is. And I wanted to take it that one step further.
Well, she's done that. Now, she says that I think because I'd gone from an office business job to becoming a sex worker, in their eyes I was a prostitute. We're talking about the parents and people that always are going after her. Now they're so supportive, she says, about the family. And that they go on lonely holidays, they have the money problems, they don't work, they don't have a mortgage. My mom works for me. My mom makes me signs for me to hold on camera and books my appointments. She was even handing out condoms to students for marketing. And she says she's not a predator. The 18-year-olds can go to the army, they can drive, they can drink, they can choose their careers for the rest of their lives. If they want to use their own bodies to come and sleep with me, that is their decision. But, you know, this is not something where you want to go and have this, where most of these 18-year-olds think that the first time they pop their cherry, they want to do it with an accomplished porn star who is not going to be a memorable situation. It might be memorable for some kind of a viral kind of feel to it, but really, you're not getting anything out of it at all. So it's a shame. But she's been doing this right now where she'll have signs up, balk me and let me film it. Not afraid to do that. And there's been people that have been trying to do that right now so far, where she's also done the same thing here where she is trying to go and meet other people out and about so that she can go and sleep with them. She's trying to do that thing as well. And then for whatever reason, Lily Phillips, who we talked about 2 months ago, I don't know why she did it, but after her friend completed the record, she went out into the streets, I guess, of England, and for whatever reason, she had semen on her face. Let's go ahead and play that back real quick.
Doing a cum walk.
Calling out a cum walk.
There's like cars going by. I don't think anyone will notice. I think it looks like a bit like a face mask. Right, we're crossing. Cross.
What is it about all these girls that think this is such a great idea to go and just like decide to go and put this together? And let's just enjoy. Like, what is it about everyone feeling like this is like a normal behavior? Let's just go with this. It's very sad to see this. And women, I just want to figure out if any of you are even considering going the OnlyFans route, and forbid you decide to go the route of basically just going completely depraved and debaucherous, okay? Because this is an extreme that's like, it's not based in reality. It's a mental problem. Women are not under the impression this is what they want to do for the rest of their lives. This is not a normal thing. Vice also talks about this as well.
What hurts more, your mouth or your...
Probably done that a little bit. I don't need a wheelchair. Like, I am fine. Just feels like I've had a heavy day in the bedroom, which is exactly what I've had. I think if it had continued how it did for the first sort of 3-4 hours, I would have struggled.
Let's get a round of applause in the room, people. There we go.
So my thing is, I look at this here and I'm saying to myself, why go this route? I mean, what's the advantage here for her to go all this route here? It's the extreme I don't understand. That's what I'm trying to go and comprehend. She can make a career for herself. She's a beautiful girl and just do whatever she wants. If she wanted to go ahead and break out of the relationship she was in, break out of the rut of the office job, recruitment, she wanted to get out of all that. Again, she's 25 years old. If she wanted to go ahead and just make a complete break, fine. I can understand that. But what was it about this here that family or friends never like paid attention to realize, okay, now she's gone to the low. Like this is somebody that snapped. And this is okay behavior. Like who thought this was like a right idea? And it's obvious she's trying to get herself noticed and recognized on a regular basis. And I'm like, for what? It's just this bad. But she's getting an audience out there. I mean, not a super huge audience. She's, again, 240,000 followers. That's a lot. But still, it's like, for the OnlyFans, it's a matter of just getting that particular amount of niche audience that will just flock to her. And they feel like it, and that's where you go. But notice, she's just going around doing the OnlyFans part. There's not any studios or anyone else professionally in the porn industry that's even gotten into this. Why is it she wants to go in? When do we get to the point where gangbangs became like a normal thing? Because are we desensitized so much as a society that sex, in this case, I mean, this is where there should be a bit of like confusion here, some bewilderment. Why are we going this route? Why does she feel like she needs to go this route altogether? As it's just sad. But people across the border, talking about this and just saying they don't understand why she's going this route. What good is it to go and just like say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and completely just throw myself at any guys. And see, the other part is the part of completely just saying, okay, I'm going to just go and try to go after any guy, young, and see if we can get some of that too. Which is the other part I just don't understand. Now, the other part is, do you also believe at all that she actually's done this? That's the other part I don't know if anybody wants to believe or if it's true or not. And I don't know if it's true or not. I don't think it could be possible. Again, for her to be able to do that, she would have needed roughly 41 seconds for every person she was with. Now, she tried to do the same thing where she went to a Five Guys. I don't know where this is with that, but she tried to go in and convince a Five Guys worker to have sex with her. Random. So we have that clip as well.
I just wondered, I can't see it on the menu, but where do I get the Five Guys from? The Five Guys. I didn't know if there was like a special room where you can take me out back.
No, I don't think that's happening.
What about after your shift? I'd want to give you, a good rating.
I'm a Christian man and I'm saving myself to marriage.
I'm asking for what's on the menu, that's all.
Genuinely, I feel like I'm doing it right now. I can hand you a menu if you want.
Are you on it?
No, I'm not.
Oh, that's a shame.
He handled it just fine. But this is all viral. This is all just to make attention. And I don't give a shit about what she's trying to do here. Okay? It is a lot to encourage this kind of behavior. That's the problem I have. Okay? I know she does it. But we also know that because of what she's done in terms of trying to have sex with younger boys, like an 18-year-olds, fresh out of high school, and thinking that, it's acceptable for any young kid out there to go and say, well, we're going to go ahead and deflower with Bonnie Blue because that's like that's a rite of passage. No. But this is something where what's online is all fantasy. It's all simphood. And that's the part we got to get rid of. It can't just be like this. But no one's even talking about that yet. Now, the other thing else I got to ask is anything going to happen at all from Lily Phillips? Will she go along with what she was going to try to do? I don't know. But that's the other part we don't know if that's going to be something that she's going to try to go for herself. If that's even going to be considered. But most importantly, it's like, okay, everything's behind closed doors. It's this fantasy girl that all these people, these guys say, well, we're going to go hang after this. But this is also the fault of the women. Women out there, I understand that you have the feminist ideology that's been put in front of you. And it's like as if you think there's no good men out there. There's all the talk about it. And that women feel compelled in some cases that they're beautiful, that they're only going to sleep with a certain amount of guys. Okay, so then women, you're not any different. If you're just basically, if you feel like you're going to sleep with a certain guy, let's just make this clear. Is that many of the guys that you're trying to go and sleep with, that you're interested in sleeping with, they're no different than Bonnie Blue. They're just a male version of it. But they're also not going to make a point of like saying, "Oh, well, I have all these girls that I've put on I've taken a notch from." They're not going to do that either. But they're just as, rampant on having sex with so many different female partners because it's being given to them. So the women are throwing themselves at certain guys, and guys that can't get themselves laid at all, they're thinking the idea, well, I'll go to this girl. Like the directions, the perceptions right now for both guys and gals are completely construed. It's wrong. What is it going to be like if these kids here, if any of them were to able to go and decide, okay, I want to go ahead and go out with Bonnie Blue, I'm going to go ahead and let her go and do that with me. And then this whole thing again from what Lily Phillips did before as well. She wanted to spend some time with them. Give them some time of companionship. No. Once again, it doesn't make any sense. But it's like, it goes on both ways. Because there's the guys that will see this here and they'll say the dream girl that they want to have, and they have seen her in various teasing photos, or they subscribe to OnlyFans and they say, well, I want to get in there. I want to get me a piece. What happened to the thing where we would find another blonde that would be out there that would be maybe just as pretty and young, and you go find a girl that resembles her, one that you can actually have your hands on and be with, and do what it takes to go and hold on to her so you can have sex with her whenever you want. What is so special about Bonnie Blue? Except that she's popular? And this is a notch of like, oh yeah, I got to fuck a porn star. I wish the young guys would hear themselves when I say this. There's never been a time where I ever wanted a porn star at all. Okay, I never wanted a stripper at a champagne club. And if you thought like that at a very young age, well, there's something wrong there. Guys, the rite of passage is when you're young, you need to go through, get yourself rejected, and go through as many attempts to try to be a girl. Make the approach over and over and over again. If you want to do it just for the fact you want to go and get laid, fine. But to just think, okay, I'm just going to take the shortcut and just go for this girl because she's going to give it. It's going to be the worst experience in your life. You're going to feel like, oh, the enjoyment of getting to go and be with her. It's not going to be enjoyable. But nobody's thinking about that part. Same thing goes for anybody that wants to go after girls that will say, well, they want after some dream guy. Like, okay, a male stripper. In the same way. And in fact, the male strippers are going to have sex with girls that are at bachelorette parties. Story came out from Unilad. I didn't get a chance to bring up yet, but here's what he says about this. So there's a male stripper that talks about that women are worse behaved than men prior to their upcoming nuptials as they reveal the significant amount of cheating that occurs. So Australian stripper Nathwild says that parties he has attended have shown an alarming cheating trend. That guys, if you are together and you have couples that are getting ready to go and get together. Obviously, you always hear about the bachelor parties and who's cheating in those bachelor parties. Well, the bachelorette parties, just as much. He said he was once doing a party where I traveled interstate and every single one of the girls at the bachelorette party cheated on their partners. All wanted to get laid. It was so crazy they made a pact they would never talk about it again. He also knows that level of cheating goes across the board as abnormal, but is not strictly uncommon. 1 out of every 10 parties he attends, some form of cheating occurs. And that the numbers could be even higher if people are simply lying about being single when they're in relationships. Quote, lots of girls tend to sleep with strippers in general. And they might also not tell you that they're cheating on their partner with you. And that people's perception that men are worse at bachelor parties isn't strictly true. As that when he started working parties, he was surprised by how wild the women got, saying they were no better behaved than the men. And that he believes some women are going to be worse for the fact that they don't think they'll get caught or their partners are less worried in the first place. He also says the narrative is always that the guys are the worst and they fuck up more, especially in a bucks party setting. But what shocked me is that women are no different. If there was a guy out there on OnlyFans that says, I'm going to go and fuck every girl I want, I wonder if enough girls are going to go out there and have that chance to do the same thing. Well, probably not, because they're worried more about the money. And by the way, guys, if you even get to go and fuck Bonnie Blue, if you had that chance, she's making money off of you. It's almost worse. So she's not asking you for money to pony up for it, making it sound like it's okay, because she's not going to make money off of you. She's going to make money off the simps out there. They're going to watch her getting fucked. And those guys are the guys I'm really worried about. It's one thing for the guys that want to go and have sex with her. There's no respect for that. It's horrible. But then there's the guys that will actually watch what's going on here. And that's the other really disturbing trend that I would be worried about. It's across the board. And these are the things that people need to be worried about and just be concerned. These British girls, for whatever reason, they're doing this. By the way, 2 weeks ago, I didn't notice this yet, but the Airbnb that OnlyFans star model Lily Phillips used to sleep with 101 men in one day, she's now been banned permanently. A potential ban from Airbnb. So there's that. She was going to go for the world record a month ago, but then her friend Bonnie Lou decided to go and break it. And then someone actually went ahead and talked to Kim Houston, who was the porn star that did and had sex 620 times in a day. So somebody actually talked to the original Lily Phillips. Kim Halsey, known as Kim Houston in the porn world. This is the one that Howard Stern interviewed and talked about this. Now, Kim Houston, or Kim Halsey, first became a teen beauty queen, leading to minor roles on the Baywatch series in the mid-1990s. She had on-screen appearances, wealth eluded her, and she pivoted into the adult industry at 27 in search of better paydays. She spoke with Salon shortly before her 1999 endeavor and said, quote, "I wasn't getting known, recognized, or being paid for what I wanted to be paid. I knew in the adult business I could be big very, very fast." And she'd been known for doing these kind of events. She worked with the notorious porn director John Bowen, also known as John T. Bone, and he directed the 1995 World's Biggest Gangbang 1. And that featured Annabelle Chong with 251 men. Then Jasmine St. Clair would try to raise the count to 300 men in one day. And Kim decided to go for 500 sex acts. So for the third World's Biggest Gangbang, they resembled the garage. She became a speed racer for the masses. The shoot was far from discreet. Fluffers, tech crew, and hordes of men encircled her on set. She wrote a book, a memoir, Houston Pretty Enough, the story of the Gangbang Queen, and reminisced about the bizarre mix of participants, including a Burt Reynolds lookalike and a male actor who enlisted his mother into adult films to resolve gambling debts. And she says, one by one, they climbed on top of me and their faces became a blur. She used porn math to calculate a staggering total of 620 sex acts in just 8 hours, counting even the briefest of penetrations. And she was awarded a black and silver trophy for achieving her goal. She started feeling hot and sore around the 500 to 511 person mark. She says she was a little emotional for a minute, started crying, and needed off. I mean, I hurt, and I was exhausted. It was the only thing I thought throughout the whole day. She took a 30 to 40 minute break to compose herself, and then returned and managed to bring the total up to 620. And why she felt like she wanted to go past the proposed 500 finishing line, she says there were still guys waiting, and I felt bad. I mean, a lot of guys waited a long time and paid $80 for a DNA test. And to celebrate the achievement, Kim and the crew went out to TGI Fridays for a feast of mozzarella sticks. Kim Kardashian had an idea of doing an extreme photo shoot and said, quote, "I was able to be with my fans and have the same personality all day long for 10 hours and get fucked, you know. That was an accomplishment. Everybody came on me. It was amazing." And Kim decided to enhance her appearance by having part of her labia removed for close-up shots. And that private piece of anatomy was then auctioned off for a reported $50,000 through the site Erotic Bid. It's all this that's here that's like, why are we seeing all this? And why? They must have been Kim Houston saying that. That's what happened. So all this here, it just sounds ridiculous. And to think this was the mid-90s we saw this here. And now we're back to this once again. I didn't think we'd go into the new year. Think we would have to be hearing about gangbangs now. But OnlyFans gangbangs now. Is she going to do this after all? Lily Phillips. Is she going to try to top her friend? I hope she doesn't. I hope she'll see some kind of clear direction and say, no, I can't do this. We need a wake-up call for these women. Just say, listen, you want to go have sex with whoever you want. You don't need to be doing gangbangs. And the OnlyFans stars, the OnlyFans creators out there do not need to be encouraged. They do not need to be encouraged by this behavior. It's not a matter of it being immoral. It's a matter of just being inconceivable and ridiculous. It's more than just depraved and debaucherous. It's something more. It's demented. It's mental. It should not be done. It's not necessary. And as for the 1,000 guys, who are you? What makes you think it was such a great idea to go ahead and get in part of this in the first place? Are guys really that pathetic right now that they can go do this here? Is it really that much? I'm surprised there were that many guys willing to go ahead and be a part of this. That's what's really disappointing. Okay, this girl, Bonnie Blue, wants to go and do whatever she wants here. Lily Phillips wants to do the same thing. Fine. These are isolated cases. But it's the encouragement that the women are going to see on this, the content creators, and the guys that want to be linchpins on this and allow themselves to be caught up in this bullshit. Something wrong with that. Very, very wrong. I'm sorry. It's one of those times where, like, okay, I might say that something might be, go enjoy yourself and be degrading and all this and that. But there's a line. Even there's there has to be a boundary. That has to come into play. Even on something like this, all right? It's one thing to just want to go and have, multiple partners or, have a stable or whatever you want. There's another thing of thinking that gangbangs by these two girls in Britain that are on OnlyFans is acceptable for the women to learn and to idolize, and the guys to think it's worth doing at all. It's much more than just being depraved and debaucherous.